Well, guys, with glitz, glamour, and maybe more sparkle than all the stars in the sky.
Very true.
We are here to break down the highs and lows of the 74th Golden Globe Awards red carpet fashion. I'm Jeremy Parsons here with my People Now co-host, the lovely Andrea Belke.
Hello, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we're very happy to have joining us celebrity stylist Robert Verdi and Lola Oganaike. The hosts of Entertainment Weekly, the show on Penn. So good to have you both here. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Let's get right to some of our favorite looks of the night. So starting with Ruth Negga in Louis Vuitton. Are we loving this look?
I love this look. I do. I think this is an amazing look. I think that it's very timely, and I also think that this is one of those awards where the girls dress like the awards, where they look golden.
Well,
they
she did
really,
it,
and she really kind of captured that. And what I like about this particular look is that it has that sportswear look, but it's still an evening gown.
And my expertise, I said that it was fashioned or inspired by Star Wars Rogue One costume.
I see that.
Well, there is a lot.
And I say that with
a lot of
Very
that.
R2D2 C3PO-ish, and I like it. But I also like
32 C3PO.
I think she's a B. But what I did like was the simple hair and the simple makeup. She let the dress do all the talking, and I think that really worked for her.
Let's move on. What about this Valentino dress Emma Stone is wearing? Are you just loving it?
I get it. It's La La Land.
Okay, there you go.
I love this dress.
I don't love this.
I love the stars. I love that she's a star. I love that this is her moment. I love that the dress is an homage to the movie. This works for me on many, many levels. It could have been cheesy on the wrong person, but she's so hot right now, and I love the way this fits her. She just looks like a beautiful diamond. I want to sing Rihanna, shine bright like a diamond.
I don't
nice.
like when they dress reminiscent to the movie or a character, or they can't separate themselves.
Oh, you want it to
from
be
the
for like
role.
full departure. Just
Well, yeah, I feel like her especially. Like, I normally love what Emma wears on the red carpet. I just think that was kind of predictable, and it felt like a little too overthought.
okay.
All right.
Worked for me.
Yeah, well, let's move on to Natalie Portman. She's pregnant.
Disagree.
She's wearing this Prada number, yellow. Jeremy, this is your favorite thing.
Favorite color? Well,
What do
I
you think
just
of
pointed
this?
out that it was there a lot. For sure, it was
What are
the
you
theme.
thinking of this look on
Well,
her?
yellow was the color of the evening, definitely. We see everybody from Natalie Portman to Viola Davis and every shade in between wearing yellow. Talk about homage to the movie. I mean,
Yes.
she looks like Jackie O right
There's a
there.
lot of
she looks
that,
like
yeah.
a pregnant Jackie O. I think that Emma Stone actually pulled it off better than she did here, but
In terms of not looking like the character.
she looks exactly
Like the
Jackie
character,
O.
yeah.
But I must say, Natalie Portman is gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love the yellow on her.
Yeah.
And dressing a baby bump as someone who has had a child is very difficult.
Yes.
So the fact that she was able to pull it off and it looks so clean and effortless, she gets
Difficult
a
to
thumbs
look
up.
difficult to do evening wear, and difficult to look current.
Yes. Sure.
To not find something frumpy.
Bumped her hair up a little too.
Bumped her hair up a little. I love it. I think it was interesting that so many girls wore in yellow, as Lola said, Viola Davis, and so was Reese Witherspoon, who is the watershed moment of yellow on the red carpet. From a few years ago, she wore a short yellow dress,
Okay.
and it really broke out. Well, because it's a hard color to wear, and it doesn't look great. It had not looked so fabulous on so many women. On blondes, it was hard to wear. Redheads, it was hard to wear. But all of a sudden, it became cool on everybody.
It's surprising so many people are wearing yellow.
Yeah, and Portman did dress the baby bump well this year.
Yeah.
And last time she
did
as well.
Yeah.
So good for her for doing that.
Yeah.
What about Michelle Williams Louis Vuitton look? Let's take a look at this. What do you guys
She's
think?
also in their campaign, so I never like when the girls are in the campaign and wearing it. Just feel like they're a billboard. The dress is okay. It's very average. I actually like what Lola has termed the DIY necklace. I love her beauty here. I think her hair looks amazing. Her face looks amazing. The little pixie look. But the necklace I actually like because the choker, because I think it's cool that whether it's a teenager or some a working mom, that they could do this at home themselves.
The DIY choker for
I
the
don't
Golden
think Lola
Globes.
likes the choker.
Lola
Do you
hates
like
it.
the choker?
I'll drink to that, Lola.
Lola, what? Let's spill it.
I love Michelle Williams, as you know. Manchester by the Sea was fantastic. This choker needed to be thrown into the sea.
No.
I can't deal with it. But I do have to say, one of the best.
Manchester by the Sea sounds like a gay club. It's like, where are you going tonight? Oh, Manchester by the Sea. Okay, whatever floats your boat. It's like, I'm not going to Manchester by the Sea with you.
So we're a little conflicted on the choker.
Let's say no to
I'm
the
not a
choker.
fan of the choker.
Okay.
I do like that you took a risk.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I do like that.
Okay, so we'll give her that.
And
All
I
right.
love the hair and the clean makeup on
Yeah.
her. Her face is luminous. I love that she stuck with the short hair. It's her signature look. She shouldn't depart from it. I love it.
I know.
But I do have to say, her best moment to me was a few years ago when she wore saffron yellow
Yes,
at the
she
Golden
did look
Globes.
amazing.
That was one of her best
She looked
fashion
like Reese
moments of all
Witherspoon.
time.
All right, let's move on to Viola Davis and this Michael Kors get up. What are your thoughts on
Banana
Viola
yellow.
Davis?
You know, I love Michael Kors because this is a classic version of his jersey covered with sequins, these kind of beautiful sinewy dresses. But I feel like this is just in the middle of the road. I think it's just okay. The color's spectacular on her. It's amazing. It would have gone south on so many women, but I just think that the dress itself is
Lola, what do you
Yeah.
think?
I loved it on her because I think the yellow against her deep brown skin is just a beautiful contrast. I wanted her to pump up the makeup a little more. I
Okay.
needed a little more lip. But other than that, I think the dress is nice on her. I like the contrast in skin tone and color
Yeah,
dress.
Robert, with the sequin dress, how
You
much
weren't
jewelry
bananas
is
for it.
okay?
I wasn't bananas for this.
When you're wearing sequins, I mean,
Yeah.
how much jewelry is okay?
You know, there's no real rule. I think that jewelry is one of those categories that really reflects the woman's personality. And like a girl with a big personality can wear like a lot more jewelry than a girl who's a little kind of laid back.
Okay.
But I think that there's no rule to how it works with the clothing. I think it's how it works with the person.
All right,
Interesting.
let's move on to Jessica Chastain in Prada. Why is this look special? What do you think makes it stand out?
Well, the color, anytime you can't describe a color, it's breathtaking.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
sort of
I
like
couldn't
lavenderish,
very
bluish.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
It's always
this,
an ish,
This
yeah.
reminds me of a legendary moment on the red carpet where Nicole Kidman wore an embroidered Prada gown in chartreuse. And it was just a memorable dress. And this is one of those dresses that I think fits her incredibly well. Is just, it breaks the mold of what's going on in the night, so it's totally memorable. She's not one of the many, she's the one and only.
Okay.
And she's captured all the trends.
Well, she has the floral thing going, like
Yeah.
in a subtle different way than the
Yeah.
other floral dresses, right?
Yeah, it's really, I think it's really strong.
I love the way it hugs her curves.
Yeah.
I didn't know Jessica Chastain had those curves, and I like to know. And a booty, boobies and a booty, which is always a winning combination. I'm glad she's showing both off. I like this look on her.
And I also really like that she's alabaster. I think that a lot of these girls sometimes over tan to go on the red
Yeah.
carpet. They look like way too tan.
Yeah, like orangish.
Yeah, they look orangish.
Yeah.
And she just kind of
Yeah.
looks like fine. She looks normal.
Yeah,
She doesn't look like,
yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly. All right, let's move on to- let's-
Normal is what we say in New Jersey. She looks normal.
Looks normal.
Alright.
She looks normal.
All right, let's move on to Annette Bening, looking like a true 20th century woman in this look. Or you guys, is this more of a 21st century look? What do you think here?
Love it. I love it. I think that she also, what's interesting on the red carpet now is that we have so many of our favorite stars are mature.
Okay, sure.
And it's a real lesson in how to look gorgeous, glamorous, beautiful, and still kind of youthful
Yes.
as you mature. And I think Annette Bening has it down to every little detail. Her hair, her makeup, nothing is overdone, and the dress is still sexy, but very covered up.
Yeah.
You know? And not that I'm saying you don't have to cover up.
No,
because
but
you're old,
in this case it works
but
well.
in this
Yeah.
case, it
Lola, what do you
really.
I think she looks so chic and it looks effortless. It looks like she just stepped into her dress, put on some red lipstick, and left the house in all the best ways.
Yeah.
She's a star. She doesn't have to try too
How
hard.
the dress is kind of like free flowing at the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah.
All right, Blake Lively. Lots of people talking about her always, and
Yes.
one to look out for on any red carpet here in Atelier Versace.
Yeah.
Thoughts, please.
I love it.
Versace.
I think that here's the thing with Blake Lively. She's there with Ryan Reynolds tonight. She is not nominated for anything. She's
There to be seen in many ways.
But say it again.
I said there to be seen.
There to be seen. Yeah.
right.
Oh, I thought, what? Did I miss something? Was she in something? Stealing the scene. But I think it's hard for a girl to come on the red carpet who's not nominated, who is in the business, to not be judged for kind of, looking great. You kind of wonder if you should kind of go a little more basic and hang back, or if you should really kind of have a big moment. She is a fashion girl, so no matter what's going on in her life, we expect a lot from her on a red carpet,
Right.
and I think she delivered.
And one of the most
Kinda-
anticipated things of
Yeah,
the carpet,
It
so
kind
she
of
had to
looks
live
like a
up to it.
gladiator in that look.
It does, and I
Really
love the turquoise bracelet that she had on. I don't like that she's kind of like doing like sort of a catalog model thing with the pockets.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, and it has pockets.
She didn't need to work the pockets that hard. You're right about that. And I feel like it's a bit of an homage to Princess Leia in a way, don't you?
okay. There's
There's
maybe
a
another
few
Star
things.
Wars
Yeah.
element
Yeah.
there as
Yes.
well. I like the bracelet. It is very unexpected, so that works as well. And I think they're the best dressed couple of the night, don't
they
you?
look great.
They are. They're
Yeah.
so good looking.
And, I mean, look,
hate them.
With the anticipation, I think they lived up to it. I think they
Yeah,
really did.
they definitely did.
All right, let's move on to this. Westworld's Evan Rachel Wood was looking very beautiful. What do you think of this number?
This is Altazara, who's a designer, you know, one of the CFDA favorites these days. He's an emerging designer out of New York, young house, and really very talented guy. This is a great look, though. This is hard to do. When women try the tuxedo, the menswear thing, it often goes awry. It either is ill-fitting, it looks too masculine, it looks too costumey. You know, it's arguable with this, but I happen to think it fits her beautifully.
Yes.
It's a high fashion version of this. It's effortless. I think it's very
Right fit
modern.
and like the right person for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is the right person for it.
This was the biggest fashion risk of the night, and she pulled it off.
Yeah.
It fit beautifully. The tailoring on the pants were impeccable.
Yeah.
The waist.
The waist, the
perfect.
length when it hit the floor.
Yes.
The way
the break on my pant is incredible.
Yeah.
The jacket is
The
divine.
the
The
silhouette.
silhouette, perfect.
Yeah, the way it hits her waistline, the way.
You guys loved everything.
Yeah.
I expected a little more criticism.
And her grooming goes with it
Yes.
too.
I was going to say the
Her kind of
hairstyle, the way
Victor-
her hair's.
I like
I could
it.
imagine that really throwing everything off if you did the wrong thing.
It's
But
a
that
nod to
rocket
Julie
dip,
Andrews
that-
and Victor Victoria.
Sure. That's what
Yes,
it is.
and it's
All
also
right.
very Diane Keaton, but I like that sort of slight rockabilly pompadour. It really
I
works.
wish I could do that. I
wish I could
do.
do
I mean,
that.
let's have the.
You probably could. You haven't.
We'll see. We'll talk about. We'll
You
come after the show.
can.
You can't fight about hair.
We have to talk about Sarah Paulson, looking sort of appropriately golden in this Marc Jacobs dress. Appropriate? Yes.
Yeah.
No. What?
You know, it's funny. When it hit the red carpet, I said to Lola, "Oh my God, I love it!" And then when she got on stage to accept her award, I was like, "That's okay." I love that rope shoulder, that kind of, high shoulder. I love the exposed back. I don't know. It feels a little kind of sort of Joan Crawfordy 1940s.
Oh, okay.
Feels,
All right.
But not in a bad way, and not in a good way. I feel kind of neutral.
That
about
sounded
it.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded
Sounded like you didn't like
it.
it.
Also, quite honestly, looks like kind of a cheap dress made in India.
Okay. Wow.
So, I mean, if I had to say what I was really
If you're
thinking,
really
give me
thinking,
some
like,
more champagne.
keep going. We'll see what else he thinks.
Sorry,
Lola,
I'm
what
just
do you
looking
think?
for my shades, because that was a shady comment, Robert Verdi. That was
But she looks great in it. She does. She's she's another one of the stars who really delivers. She makes that dress work.
There's
That dress
no
would
coming
not
back,
work.
Robert. You said
Yeah,
what you
you didn't like it.
Lola, what do you
Let's move on.
Should we move on? Are you done with it too? Okay.
Moving on. Let's look at Insecure series creator and star Issa Rae and Ayanna James. She's obviously, everyone's talking about her this year. No wonder that this designer is also the stylist for the show. What do you guys think of this number?
I think it's a little long. I wish that it
Okay.
were. I wish that the train were a little less trained. But I like the look overall. I like that stark, bright milk white. I think it's beautiful on her. I think her beauty looks great. I think her hair looks great. I like the whole thing,
I feel like white is hard to pull off.
Definitely.
especially that vivid, bright white.
That is stark white. And the fact that she's able to pull it off, and this is one of her first times on a major red carpet. Usually young starlets get it wrong before they get it right a few times. I feel like she got it right out of the gate. And
good for her.
I think this bodes well for her future on the red carpet.
And-
I don't mind the matchy-matchy white bag. I think it works. The hair, I love. Intricately
You
designed,
really like matchy
beautiful.
matchy? You said matchy matchy is not a compliment.
I know,
I know
but
you
I
don't.
know. But in this case, it works actually.
I have to check.
No, that was no shade.
I misspoke
That was
before.
nice.
Issa's actually the stylist of the show.
Issa's
Insecure.
the stylist on there. Okay.
Yes.
Well, and you can see why. She's
Go,
got this
yeah.
great sensibility.
She does it all.
Let's move on to this. Everyone loves Millie Bobby Brown in Stranger Things.
11. Yeah.
11. It's always fun to see what someone her age is going to do on the carpet.
Well,
and what do we think of what she did do?
I like that it feels a little sophisticated, but it doesn't feel old.
Jenny Packham.
It's Jenny Packham, and it doesn't feel childish.
Right.
So I feel like she's age appropriate. And you can see her kind of growing into her future starlight.
working on the smolder
She's the
there,
Dakota
too.
Fanning of her generation.
Yeah, sure.
Or the Elle
Elle
Fanning.
Fanning, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty
I
good.
completely agree with you. Sometimes you see older women looking like babies on the red carpet and babies looking like grown-ass women on the red carpet. I like that she found her age
Hit the right
and
tone.
she hit the right tone.
All right.
So I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And she looks so chic. She's giving me a little bit of a young Audrey Hepburn too, which I really appreciate.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grooming.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Drew Barrymore. Ooh, I like that hair flip.
Flipping that hair.
What are your thoughts on this look? I feel like we might be a little conflicted here.
Yeah, I am conflicted. I mean, I love her, and she's another girl who, regardless of what's going on in her career, we look to her as a fashion icon. It just felt like it's something from The Love Boat, like a scene on The Love Boat. Like I expected her to be with Captain Steuben. Like, where are you going? Julie McCoy is not here. Like, where are
You did not say Julie McCoy.
Oh my goodness.
And Gopher and Isaac is mixing a drink. Like, what are you doing? Like, where are you going?
All right, Lola, what did you think of this look?
I can't.
Dare you,
Robert Barry.
dare you compliment
What
it?
am I gonna say now?
That you loved it.
I like the hair a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a compliment.
I did.
Oh, I
did.
love your hair,
I loved
Drew.
her hair. I loved her hair.
All right.
Listen, she wore a bra this time, which is.
So you're happy just for that?
Happy.
Okay.
She's a woman of a certain age.
I
She
like
needs to
the
keep 'em up.
sparkle. I like the sparkle. I like that it had a bit of an 80s feel. It,
Yeah.
it was a little Dorothy's Bornak
Yeah,
too,
it's
but
definitely.
I didn't necessarily mind that too much.
Okay.
But I like
Octavia-
the altogether. I thought it was all right.
I love Octavia Spencer all the time and her work and what she does. But what do we think of her look? No, I'm a fan of hers in general, but you're not a fan of the look, huh?
What's great is that she's inside a trend. So there are several women tonight, Catherine Hahn and certainly Evan Rachel Wood and obviously now Octavia, who wore men's-inspired, tuxedos. I just think this is the wrong cut for her. I think that it's not flattering on her, and I think that she could have done that really well. I love that she hit the trend and she knew she kind of had her finger on the pulse, but I hate that it went awry. It just wasn't flattering on
If
her.
you're gonna do menswear at any of the awards shows, do you do it at the Globes,
Yeah.
or is there a certain award show that both?
It also felt very luncheon. It didn't feel sophisticated and black tie enough.
Yeah.
It didn't kind of turn the corner. She didn't do it with like a brooch or a pair of earrings or a great pair of shoes. It just is kind of middle of the road. I feel like she's gonna sell me an insurance package that I don't need.
All right,
like,
so Evan Rachel
Is
Wood
she in a
works, she
Geico
does
commercial
not.
that I don't know about?
Lola, what did you think of Octavia?
I have to say, the fit did not work for me. I mean, tailoring is key when you're on the red carpet, but especially when you're wearing pants. You've got to get it right. And the ankle length just didn't work.
hit right.
And the ankle to shoe ratio was just off. And like Robert said, it just wasn't enough. I need you to step on the red carpet and take my breath away. This did not take my breath away at all.
Well, luckily
it
the
did,
performance
but
at
for
Hidden
all the
Figures
wrong
was
reasons.
enough to take her
But
breath
she
away.
was
I'll just
great.
rely on that. Yes.
All right, so let's move on to this. What about American Crime's Regina King? What is it about this look that you liked or didn't like?
I happen to be a huge fan of Regina King's, and I actually think that our very good friend Bevy Smith always says it gets greater later.
That's
and,
true.
And I think that Regina King is a great example of that. She has a tough time on the red carpet. There's been a number of times that she's knocked it out of the park. I think this is, again, like it's an appropriate dress. It looks great on her. It's figure flattering. It's really, she looks great, but I think it's middle of the road. I don't think it's like, wow, she stole the red carpet. I think she looks great.
You know what would have taken this from like an 8 to a 10? Because the dress from the neck down is exquisite.
Yeah.
I wanted something more severe with the hair.
Yeah, straight like behind her ears, part in the middle.
Or maybe
like
even
something-
just like a really tight chignon.
Chignon, yeah.
Just give me all face, all arms in that dress, and that would have been a 10.
Because she's got an extraordinary face and extraordinary guns.
For sure.
I would
No, okay,
kill for
speaking
those
of guns and
arms.
everything else, how heavy are these dresses?
Heavy.
Heavy.
This one looks,
Really?
that one looks heavy.
That's like a 30 or 35 pound dress.
Wow.
Wow.
And in that case, she's really like kind of
Oh
effortless with
yeah,
it, right?
for sure.
Yeah, no,
for
she's
sure.
a strong woman. Yeah. No, she is. She's like pint sized, but she is all muscle.
And did you like the earrings, her earring choice?
Yeah, and I mean, that's a good point. You know, when you have an athletic build, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to make it look really feminine, and she's learning and has accomplished that a number of times.
Yeah.
Where she really looks feminine. She doesn't look like she's this kind of just
do you
athletic.
like the kind of earring that when it's going all the way up her
I
ear
do.
like that
I think
for the
that. I think that
carpet?
it's. I think that's where you can say like it's a nod to a sort of a modern youthful accessory instead of kind of something tried and true. Like a drop would be too predictable.
Okay,
Like,
sure.
Again, if the hair had been pulled back, we would have been able to appreciate the
more.
earrings more,
Yeah,
also. So.
Okay, next up, Olivia Copo, Zahira Murad. She always looks great. This look, extra special according to you guys. What do you love?
I think that it captured the essence of the evening, and I think there's always some girl who kind of is an outlier and has kind of captured the essence of the awards, and I think that all of the kind of embellishment and embroidery that looks like the Magic Garden, she's kind of caught. And I know that this is a dress that people will have a visceral reaction to. They're like, oh, I hate it.
Or absolutely love
Or
it.
absolutely love it. But you know, a lot of times I always say that when the girls capture that sort of like the love of the highbrows from fashion, that's where they get their contracts and their covers of magazines, and that's where they get slammed by all the sort of weekly magazines where they're like, I don't really like that
Yeah,
look.
right. And Lola here again, a very pronounced earring in a
Yes.
different way. This one is more of like a round kind of a big jewel on the year. What do you think of how that complements the whole look?
Well, again, this was a huge, huge risk, and this could have gone really, really wrong, and she could have looked like Heidi meets Alice in Wonderland. But
She looks like Heidi meets Alice in Wonderland.
But in a good way, perhaps.
But in a good way.
In a good way. It came together perfectly. I love the hair. I love the earrings. I love the dress. I love that it's more is more is more.
Yeah.
Usually they tell you to take one thing off before you leave the house. She put on everything, but it all came together effortlessly, and I love it.
Yeah, because she also got the makeup right.
Yes.
It's strong. And
the lip, the smoldering eye, those thick eyebrows. It was more and more. And I was like, give me more, give me more.
The proportion of the hair, too. Like
that
was
big
that
I
big.
agree, and I love the braids, and I saw a bunch of braids.
There's a lot of braids,
I know,
total
it's
trend.
nice.
Contest into the braids.
Well, somebody has a little braid and a little bun. I'm not going to mention
You're on trend.
Okay.
All right.
Give me that earring.
We better move forward before it gets out of control over here.
Westworld's Tandy Newton in months with Harry Winston jewelry. She's got a little metallic on the bottom of her dress. Kind of seems appropriate for Westworld.
I love this
right?
dress. She to me, Tandy is one of those girls who's an intellectual fashionista. She's not a boring fashionista.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is a dress that a lot of people are gonna like not understand. But I love that it looks like that there's something sort of like that there's a staining of some sort. That's all sequin. That's all clearly hand done. It's meant to look very artistic.
What
but
about
I think
the
it's a beautiful
backwards
dress.
necklace? What are your thoughts
I actually
on
think that's fun. I think that anytime you can take something that's familiar and make it interesting, and I like that's another DIY moment where girls at home can be like, I'm just gonna wear my necklace going down my back, and I don't have to buy anything new because I have some necklace in my drawer. I like
the back it goes, just push that thing back.
And I'll put on my velvet shoelace.
And I love the ponytail.
Yeah, there you go. Double it up.
But I think that she's one of those girls who is often underappreciated.
Sure. Okay. Lola.
At first, I did not like this dress because you're right. It was a little too intellectual for me. But upon looking at it again and again, I've come to appreciate it in a way that I didn't about an hour ago.
Yeah.
At first, I thought she looked like she was on fire.
Yeah.
Like, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It looks.
I don't love it, but I like it, and I appreciate the fact that she didn't do
Looks
something
like a muddy
obvious.
stain that they try to hide in like sequin. But I love it. I think it's an interesting, really great dress.
All right. All right. Not that she ever lost it, but Angela Bassett definitely has got her groove back in this Christian Siriano dress. Your thoughts on this one and Angela Bassett?
I like color on Angela Bassett.
She looks great in color.
She looks great in color. I'm not sure about this shoulder, but I do have to say the red looks exquisite on her skin. This woman is 50-something years old. She looks incredible. She gets better and better with age.
It gets greater later, Bevy Smith.
Gets greater later. Shout out to Bevy Smith. I mean, the booty is just popping. She looks great. I like the fit. I'm not sure about the shoulders, but that's something that Christian Siriano does. It's one of his signatures.
Yes.
And she likes him.
She does.
She dresses him. She wears him often. So
how do you feel about the shoulders?
I like it. I think that it's one of the trends we're seeing tonight is the exposed shoulder like that. The ruffle, the proportion of the ruffle is what kind of throws me off. I can't tell if it's like too long. I'd have to see it kind of a little shorter and a little longer to kind of understand why it landed where it did. But I do like the dress, and I think that Angela has figured out a formula for dressing and for silhouette that she really loves, and she knows what to show off. And women, as they mature and they feel less confident about their arms, they start to try and hide them. But your shoulders always look fabulous, whether you're 17 or 70.
that's true.
And so I think that that's a big lesson because she kind of hides her upper arm, but she exposes her shoulder and her forearm. She looks it's very young looking.
Very flattering. Yeah.
All right, let's talk
That's a
about
good
Kathryn
trick.
Hahn looking amazing in this menswear inspired look. So tell us about this and what you liked about this.
Oh, I loved it. It was a nod to Madonna. I think she was the ultimate rock and roll look of the night. I think that she knocked it out of the park. This is another one that, as Lola said earlier, tuxedos are all clothing, but especially tailored clothing is always about fit. I mean, she is perfect in this.
Now you were talking about the tapering of the leg and whatever, like on Octavia, and it came up a little higher. This one all the way to the ground.
Yes, which I love, but it's all the way to the ground and it's a wide leg, which always makes you look taller and skinnier. It's one of my favorite fashion tricks.
Yeah.
You can put on a 6-inch platform underneath that, and you'll look 7 feet tall. Your legs will look amazing. You could be 3 feet tall, but you put on a great pant that's
Skim
long
your leg
and
on the
wide.
thigh and
Yep.
let it get a little fuller.
The best fashion trick in
She
the
even
business.
did the rocker hair.
Yeah, I like
the
the hair.
grooming was
Yeah.
great. She looked amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, she was one of the knockout stars of the night, I think.
Absolutely.
And here she was in like a men's tuxedo.
Yeah, right,
Or a
really
women's
interesting.
tuxedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, speaking of menswear, let's talk about a couple of the male looks tonight, which I love talking about.
Yeah,
okay,
here we
Ryan
go.
Gosling.
Right, I've been talking about him for
Why-
days. Here we go.
Why
The
does
man
he
nailed
stand
it.
out tonight? What do you think?
Because he's Ryan Gosling. Hello.
I like the flower.
Yeah, the whole thing is great. The white.
I've been trying to work a flower in every now and then on
I
this.
don't know. I don't think you can pull it off
not
like
like
Ryan
him.
Gosling
Not
does.
like him. My gosh.
That Frank Sinatra silhouette, that shawl collar and the cream on the white, it's like classic. But this is funny because when guys go left or right and they go off the beaten path, off the tried and true, and they go to the beaten, the path
With,
less.
however, the road less traveled. Yeah, there are lots of
Whatever, I'm
analogies
trying
here.
to say. Give me some more champagne. Then it usually goes awry. But this is one of those situations where it's perfectly tailored. It's very classic. It's like, but it's things that Ricky Ricardo wore, that Frank Sinatra wore. It's
Sure.
like
Yes.
iconic.
It stands out, but it definitely looks appropriate. Looks like it fits
Yeah.
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
All right, what about Casey Affleck's look? Where do we put him on the list? Here he comes.
Okay.
Now, man bun. Let's point out, and
That
a big
full
beard.
beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he's from
really
Duck
hairy.
Dynasty.
Lola,
nominated
do you
for
like
Duck
a man?
Dynasty?
It does kind of. Lola, do you like a man with a beard? What do you think?
I like a man with a beard, and I like a man with a man bun, but you can't have both. You
Unless
have
you're
to
working,
choose.
and you need to do it for a role. But whatever the
Yeah,
case.
but I don't know.
He might be doing it for a role.
Yeah.
It might
No, I
be
think
for
he
a
is.
role. It would have to be for a role. That's not intentional. That can't be intentional.
For Duck Dynasty.
Actually, Duck Dynasty is no more.
Well, maybe they're doing. Maybe he's into something that we
maybe
don't
that's why
know
they
about.
took a
Maybe
break
they're
from
making a
filming.
movie
Maybe-
about Duck
yes,
Dynasty.
maybe he's in
with
a
Casey
bio.
Affleck.
Robert.
He's in a biopic about Duck Dynasty.
Already.
That's it.
What do you think of this, though? Of Casey's look, yeah. Did you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I think that it looked like it was a three-piece. I couldn't tell if he had a vest on
Yeah.
because I'm old and my eyes can't see as far as
I
that
think
screen
it
is. But yeah, I think that he looked very, he looked very polished and tailored. I like the counterbalance of like scraggly and a little
And then
unkempt
buttoned up.
with polish.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, three-piece.
All right, let's move on to Sterling K. Brown, star of 2 nominated shows tonight. There he is with those shades and those sunglasses. What do you think of Sterling K. Brown?
I like the two-tone personally. Holding.
I don't know. I've been thinking
I
about
think
it.
this is a nod to the 1960s. The shawl collar. I like the skinny black tie. I think that it's a fresh look, and I like that guys are going away from the classic black tuxedo
right.
with the black bow tie. And for the last few years, we've seen guys wear some more expressive things, and I like that it's not black. I think it's fresh. I don't like the glasses because I like seeing people's eyes.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I hope he took them off when he got inside.
Well, hopefully. And as an actor, look, we've seen him on the shows and everything, on This Is Us and everything. I mean, he's got a compelling look. It would be nice to see behind those shades.
Yeah.
What do you think of the tux, though?
I like the tux. I didn't love it, but I liked it. Like Robert said, he departed from the beaten path.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, but I didn't love it.
Okay, all right. Liked it.
But he's a good-looking guy.
Let's move on to the night's more questionable looks. All right, we have Moonlight and Hidden Figures star Janelle Monáe and Armani. Now, I love her in general. I just think she's so hot right now in terms of career
Yeah,
and everything
no,
else.
definitely.
And she's beautiful. I'm not surprised to see her in something like that. It felt like that's exactly what she should have worn.
I kind of like it, but I don't think. What do you two think?
Well, it's very okay. So she always wears black and white, and I think that for me, it's the balance of the hair with the dress. And I actually don't hate the dress. I think the dress is a tough dress to wear. I don't like her hair with that dress.
Oh, like the polka dots up in
The
the hair
polka
and
dots,
polka
yeah,
dots
it's
on
like,
the dress.
that's what troubles me. So it's hard for me to make a ruling on that.
Okay,
What about you, Lila?
But I don't hate it.
I interviewed Janelle Monáe recently. I love, love, love her. And I love her commitment to black and white with a hint of red always. That's
Yeah.
her signature palette.
Yep.
She's not going to veer away from that. But this, to me, is a case of more was not more.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too costumey.
It was a little too costumey, a little Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
In a movie.
In a movie.
About a circus. Wait, okay, now let's say it. Now I got it.
Got it. You
I
nailed
figured it out. We got it.
But you know
Bonham
what's so
Carter in a
funny?
movie about a
Because
circus.
she's a huge fan of Tim Burton, and
Right.
this look is very Tim
It
Burton
makes sense in that case, right? When you
to
look at
me.
it.
All right, so we're a
Through
little
that
divided.
prism.
All right.
But had the hair been simpler or the
Yeah.
dress simpler, I think it would have worked for me.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Moving on to divorces. Sarah Jessica Parker and Vera Wang. What do we think about this?
Very wrong, is that what you said? Oh! Very wrong. Sarah Jessica Parker and very wrong. I didn't hear that. I think it looks great personally.
Oh, my
It looks like Cinderella. You know, Sarah Jessica Parker is a fashion intuit. She is one of these people who, since her breakout role as Carrie in Sex and the City, we've looked to both as a character from Sex and the City and on the red carpet as her very own Sarah Jessica Parker. We've looked to her as a fashion superstar. And she's made some interesting choices, and that's the category I'm going to put this in. It's an interesting choice, but it does look like Cinderella to me.
Okay.
When a woman is on the red carpet, what you want her to look like, you want her to look like she's having a good time. You want her to look like she feels confident in what she's wearing.
And you want her to look like she had a mirror at home.
And you want her to look like she feels beautiful.
We actually have Robert's Instagram. He made a post kind of comparing her right there.
Oh, shoot. Ooh, was that
Yeah.
me? Well, it's exact. I mean, you can say, yeah.
But to your point, I like seeing her flip it around in that pose. I felt like she did look like she was having fun.
I don't
So
think
you have a
so.
crush on her. You want to
think-
flip her around.
I have.
I think-
Okay, well, perhaps it's more about me than her.
Wait,
Okay.
where's this
I'm in
going?
love with her. I'm in love with her.
Flip it around.
All right.
No. Cinderella looked more confident in that Instagram pic than Sarah Jessica did
All right,
on the
fair
red
enough.
carpet. She was tugging at the sleeves a lot and trying to sell it. And I'm like,
Like, if you have to sell it,
if
then
you have
maybe
to
it's a bad
sell
thing.
it, then maybe that's not the right dress.
Okay, moving on from Cinderella to Sienna Miller. Sienna Miller's look. What did you guys think about Sienna?
Okay, I think she was a little tan for her. I'm used to seeing her in sort of like a less orange mode. But I think she came late to the party with the cutouts. And this trend has already come, and in my opinion, it's gone. It wasn't one that was here to stay. I think a lot of girls did this, and it worked on the red carpet for a few seasons, and it's donezo. Bye.
What's in her hair?
It's the
Chewing
tie.
gum. I think that's
No,
gum.
she
A
barred.
scrunchie.
She barred Michelle Williams' choker and tied it in her hair.
in her hair.
No, she
Okay,
didn't.
a rubber
Look
band.
closely. It's the same thing.
Is it?
Yes, look.
So
Pull
you're
it back
not
up.
a fan
Like
of
me.
Now I like it because I like any
any
DIY. I think
red
it's good
carpet
if you
moment.
could look at the red carpet and say like I could do that.
So
at home.
Lola, do you like this look or no?
I like it, but like Robert said, it is passé, but I like it. I like
Okay.
that it fits her well. I like white on her. I like that she's a beautiful girl with a banging body. I would show it off too.
Yeah.
I don't care if the
Reminds me
trend is
of
over.
Brie Larson, her dress last year with those cutouts. All right.
You see?
Well,
There it is.
Yeah.
I know. All right, let's
It's
move
funny
on
'cause
to
I
the
think it
next
looks a little
lady.
sporty.
Let's talk Anna Kendrick here in Vionnet. What
Yeah.
do we think about this?
Cement is a hard color to wear and hard to make it feel glamorous. It's a little quiet. I feel like this feels more like a bridesmaid than it does a Golden Globe
Okay.
dress.
Pretty dramatic up top there.
It is dramatic. The dress is beautifully designed. I would like to see it in another color that I think would really kind of pop. I understand why they went with this color, so you can see the construction more and the detail and the pleating on the fabric, but I feel like she would have looked knockout in another color.
Another color.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. I love the fit. The construction is beautiful, but another color, maybe even a blush pink. Don't you think?
Yeah,
that
something
might have
else.
popped on her skin.
It's almost like this is one of those dresses who, if we saw, like when we saw Lupita Nyong'o in the Prada light blue
yes.
dress,
Yeah.
where it was like a wow moment, and a lot of that was the choice of color.
Yes.
This could have been that.
This could have been a great moment.
Interesting. Okay. Okay, of course. Amy Adams, dressed in Tom Ford. He did direct her in Nocturnal Animals. Makes sense that she would stick with it there. I don't know, you didn't like it before?
I just think it's basic, and
Yeah.
basic is never a compliment. It's your dress is so pretty. It's a black sequin dress. I mean, what's interesting is the construction at the bust line, that it comes very high, and it's not a sweetheart neck. It certainly fits her beautifully. It looks like it's liquid on her. She's got a beautiful body. There's nothing wrong with the dress, but
It just doesn't, it's not that
it's not a
dramatic.
wow.
Okay.
It's a wow, you look great, but it's not a wow, that dress. Wow, you look great is different from like,
the dress takes some.
yeah, it takes a life of its own on, and everybody's talking about it, and did you see?
Okay.
She
See,
looks
I think
great.
that's less about the dress and more about the makeup. It looked like she didn't have any on. The face was just too
bare.
Too bare.
That's
I think if
interesting.
she'd gone more dramatic with the makeup, then the dress would have really been on fire. But the dress alone, without the makeup and the hair, I think is absolutely beautiful.
Robert, you are on fire on Instagram.
You're on
You said
fire.
Tonight, you,
Oh yeah, her hair looks like Marsha. She looked like Marsha Brady or Jan Brady, one of the Brady sisters. That's exactly, isn't it what she looked
That's
like?
Marsha, right?
That's Marsha. That's when Marsha got her nose hit. Something suddenly came up.
I see it. I see what you're doing there.
I love Amy Adams. Leave her alone.
But I do
everyone.
love that 70s daytime, hairstyle. I do. And a lot of girls are wearing that now.
I like that. I think that would.
I think I do too.
ahead.
I think they're pickier than we are. We like
Well,
everything,
I've
though.
already said I'm the
We
easiest on it. I like
everything,
everything.
know. All right, well, let's end on a positive note here. So your very favorite looks of the night. Here's Blackish, Tracee Ellis Ross, looking very, very stunning. So why is this look so great? Robert, this is one of your favorites,
I do.
right?
I think she looks amazing because I think that the length is interesting. So I think she's introducing. She's a fashion icon too. She loves fashion. She always looks great. Her mother is obviously the legendary Diana Ross. She has a formula to how she dresses, and it's somewhat predictable, but not at the same time. But she's got that very current, fresh, new length on, and she's one of the handful of girls that did it. I like that it's sheer. I think it's sexy. I like that it's silver and not gold. I love the way she accessorized. I think that feels incredibly fresh. That both hands covered with rings. That confident, powerful, sexy.
Sure.
New, fresh
And you
evening.
talk about people having fun on the carpet. She looks like she's having a great
yeah.
time, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
All the way through.
Oh,
All
I
right.
loved her hair. Did you love it?
I did. I loved it. I love that look. I didn't love the hair, but I loved
You
the
love
dress.
those rings.
You love the
I
rings.
love
Rings
the
are great.
rings. The rings
Yeah.
are just so cool.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of girls wearing those.
There they
rings.
are. Look at that.
Easy to copy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easy to copy. Easy to copy.
Okay, it's been such a big year for Moonlight's Naomi Harris. Yes. Only appropriate that she is one of your very favorite looks of the night. Tell me why this looks is such a winner for you.
I just feel like it's clean, effortless, hugs her body, accentuates how beautiful her arms are. The hair cascades perfectly down her shoulder.
She's stunning,
It's
isn't she?
just-
Look at that
Yes.
earring.
Oh, the
The earrings are
earrings.
perfect.
Such a beautiful woman.
She's glimmering. She's having a good time. She's confident. She's happy in this dress. I just love this look. The makeup is perfect. It's perfect.
And
Yeah.
10s across the board.
Good job for that. I'm glad that you say that because I agree with you completely.
too.
I agree. I do think that there's this space that a lot of our favorite stars live in. That it's just like it's exactly what you said. It's a 10. It's not a wow, and it's not something that we're going to see go into the canon of fashion history where 10 years from now we're going to say, well, in 2017, Naomi wore that dress is fabulous and looks great, but it's just not, to me, that unexpected wow.
Well,
but I love it, and
I
it's a
love
10,
it.
and
Okay, all
those
right.
two things can be true
Did a
simultaneously.
good job
Yeah.
for the night. And the good news is, even if we're not talking about her dress, we will be talking about her work because her career is on fire. right
Yeah,
now.
she's amazing.
Man, is she
Yes.
talented.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Lola, Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wait, what about my outfit?
Okay, no, you are looking good. You are looking great, Robert. You
I
got the
look-
thing up here, the
I look like a
lapel.
doorman. Because somebody's got to work in this
Very
building.
stylish, doorman.
Somebody's got to do it.
Been very fun. Award
Yes.
season only just beginning. We cannot wait for so much more. I'm sure that we will be talking a lot more with you guys about the stunning fashion in the next couple of months. Looking forward to that. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you.
you.
I'm the only one who
And
drank
cheers.
it. I'm an alcoholic.
And yours
I think.
is gone.
Look,
Okay,
mine
great.
is gone.
Yours.
That's so unfair. Switch. You can't drink. You have a child. Here. Switch. Thank you. Lola's drunk.
I can drink in mom.